Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm a Jamaican living in the Netherlands for the past 14 years. Please feel free to subscribe, share, and check out my links. My life in the Netherlands. Story time. I am going to share one of the many stories that I have uh, since I've been living here because I've experienced quite a few things. I was living here for about 2 years when I got a call from one of the agency that I wrote into because I was looking for a job. I was on a waiting list for a very long time, waiting to learn the Dutch language. And in between that time, I wrote myself into different agencies because I wanted the opportunity to work, at least do some telemarketing. So after a while, I got a call from one of the agency that I wrote into, and the name of that company was Randstad. The lady I had on the line, she said to me, well, we are looking for someone to go and work at a festival. I said, okay. She said, well, you get paid time and a half to work at the festival, and the bus will leave to go to the festival at 8:45, and you should be at the agency at 8:30 because everyone needs to be here 15 minutes early. So I said, no, if you just give me the address, I'll get myself there. She said, no, we're all going with the bus. So that was the Thursday I got the call, and the idea was to be there the following day, which was the Friday. So I got there 8 o'clock in the morning, and what was my reason for being there so early is because there are stereotypes, and one of the stereotypes is that all Africans are always late, or Black people are always late. Well, since I consider myself to be an African Jamaican, I would fit automatically in that stereotype. And if I didn't consider myself to be that way, I would fit automatically in that stereotype because of my complexion. So I always make sure that whenever I have an appointment, I'll be there on time to avoid such situation. So I was there 8 o'clock in the morning. Anyway, 8:30, one lady show up. I'm gonna go ahead and assume she was the lady I spoke to the day before. And she asked me if I was there for the festival. I said yes. She invited me in. I went in, have a seat. She asked, do you want a cup of coffee? I explained I didn't drink coffee. Would you like to have a cup of tea? I explained I already had tea. So 8:45, it's time for us to get together and go in the bus. There was a whole lot of people that show up. I'm not sure how many, but at one point I saw not one or two bus, but three buses. So we all went in the bus, but before we went into the bus, we were called by names and groups. So group A and B went in the first bus, C and D went in the second bus, E and F went in the third bus. Now I'm gonna go ahead and assume that it was organized like that based on our names, so it was alphabetical. It was in alphabetical order. So given the fact that my name would be BD, then that would explain the whole situation as to why I was in the first bus. Now we got into the bus, and it was a huge coaster bus with a toilet on it and everything. And we started getting instruction in Dutch first. And I was quite surprised when the instruction changed to English and then to German. That when I realized that there were Dutch workers on the bus, German workers on the bus, and English workers on the bus, or foreigners that speak only the other two languages. Now, what was quite shocking to me, was very shocking because I've never experienced that before, is that we were told that we were going to be in the bus for a while. So I think it was like an hour and a half, 2 hours, or maybe more. I don't remember the exact time. But after the instruction and everything, the lady that was at the front giving the instruction was operating like a tour guide. Um, and then the bus driver. And when she was finished, she sat down and the bus drove off. Now, there was a woman sitting beside me and she was black. So I was quite shocked that the bus just drove off like that. So I said to the lady, I said, may I ask you a question? And she said, yes. I said, we're not going to pray. And she looked at me and she said, no, we're not going to pray. And I've never experienced that before. I know when I was living in Jamaica, and you get into a bus that is going to go a certain amount of distance, or you going on a trip, somebody always prays. So yeah, new country, new environment, culture shock, all those things. So we weren't going to pray. We just driving 2 hours or something in that direction. So I bow my head and I pray for that God will send an angel to guide the driver and over the bus to protect us all, go there and back. Now, when we got there, the order in which we got there stayed. So it was A and B in the first bus. We were going in one direction, and C and D and E and F, they were going in another direction. Now, the same direction that I was going into, that lady, because she was in our, or the bus that I was in, we were going into the same direction. So when we were like halfway going, at this point, there were different tour guides. That's what we're going to call them. They are workers of the agency, but they were acting like tour guides. So they were in front of each group going in different directions. So the lady said we were going to go to house. So I was like, house. Okay, that's strange. So I kept walking and I kept walking, but house, that thing keep popping up in my head. So I said to the lady, because she was still close to me, I said, may I ask a question? And she said, yes. I said, what is house? She said, house is a music. And I was like, okay. Because I've never heard house music before in my life. I didn't even know that there was a music named house. So this is a new situation. Anyway, we got to house. And when we got to house, first thing, there were sound set up, boxes and everything, like what I'm used to seeing in Jamaica. So there was things set up for a party, the group that we were in. There were bars set up and everything, but the music was not yet on. So I still didn't know what house was at the time. I don't know what it is. House is just new to me. It's just a new word now, and I need to figure out how this house is going to work out. So there was a white guy in the bar, and he he asked me my name. I said my name, and he said, "You're on top." No, he said I'm on top. That's another situation, because he said I'm on top, and I don't understand that either. So I said to the lady, because she was still next to me, I said to her, I don't want to keep bothering you, but I'm having language difficulty here. I'm hearing stuff that I really don't know, so I would appreciate it if you could help. What is top? She said, I'm on top beer. So I said, top beer. She said, yes. I said, I don't drink alcohol. I don't smoke. I know nothing about um, beer except the fact that there could be Heineken beer and Red Stripe beer. But for the rest, I really don't know about beer. So she said, you know what? I'm going to take you under my wings and I'm going to help you figure this thing out. So she went and she spoke to the guy in Dutch, and she came back and she said, I have 15 minutes to train you. And then we were in this big tent. in the bar, and she started explaining, okay, this is stop beer. You click it up, the beer come down the cup, it has to go fast, you have to fill it. It goes, we don't waste the beer, it goes like this, it goes like that. So then I asked her, you have a lot of experience in this? She said yes, she have done it several times before. She used to work in a restaurant, she used to work in bars, all type of things. And now she wasn't, she, her contract didn't extend the last place she was, so she just work now for this agency, and she fill in here and there. So I have 15 minutes to figure out how to use this machine. Now, one of the machine I did know about. That's the machine that gives the different types of drinks like KFC, because I'm a KFC specialist from Jamaica. I do know how that machine works. Okay, I've mastered that. I know to make sure that the drink does not get spilled or anything. Okay, I'm certified in that. I'm a doctorate. Now I need to figure out how to do this beer and the alcohol and all those things. So I figured that out. And then the white guy came and he said, in three, two, one, the music is gonna start. Because I was so focused on figuring out the top beer, whole situation, I wasn't paying attention as to what was going on. But when I looked up, I saw a sea of what I believe to be white teenagers, because they were mostly white. They were between, in my opinion, 18 and 30, but mostly the late teens, early 20, and then just in the 30. That's my gauging of the ages that I think I have seen. So the music start. That was a problem, because no disrespect to the people who listen to house music, but if that's a music, I don't know what a music is, because I'm quite confused. All I heard was like boom, 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 boom. And I was like, what the hell is this? My ears hurt. It was just something new. I've never heard it before. And it was so loud. And they just started coming and basically just started screaming for beer and stuff like that. So it was going. And at one point, that thing went from boom and it goes to another one like tick, 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 tick. But it's the craziest thing. I'm telling you. I was there for, I think, 4 hours standing, just serving beers, 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 and just listening to that boom, 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 boom. New experience. I could not handle it, but I managed to pull through it. So we got a break. We got half our break. A different team of people came take over, and we went under another tent for the break. Now, while I was under the tent, I discovered that music were all over actually. So it was a big festival. But I was just so I wasn't looking at everything and noticing everything. I was just very, straightforward doing my thing. So one of the white lady came, and one of the workers, tour guide, whatever you want to call her, came, and she said, well, we need to get someone to the reggae section. And I was like, there is a reggae section? And she said, yes, there is a reggae section, but you have to stay at this section. So they took another girl and put her to the reggae section. I asked why was she left. I asked why did she left. Oh, the white guy that came back explained that I was going faster on the top with the beer than her, and the reggae section is more relaxed, or you could call chillax. So she went to the reggae section. So I look at the guy and I said, I think I would have functioned better at the reggae section because I'm from Jamaica. But anyway, it was the decision was already made, and I had to go back to where I was. Now, I worked there for about 10 hours. And let me tell you, when I got home, that music, because I wasn't used to it, and the sound was just something out of this world for me personally. I heard that sound in my head for like a whole month. And for the first week, I could hardly sleep. I could hardly function. It just keep going. I felt as if I was gonna jerk out of my bed. Boom, 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 straight out of my bed. And the craziest part about it is that the following morning, I got a call from the agency again saying someone is sick and they're asking me if I could come and replace the person. I was like, no, thank you. There is no way I'm going back there. I didn't say that to her, but I turned it down. So when you go to a country and you don't speak the language, it's really a challenge, because even the word house would sound strange, you know, when it's just house music. And I was talking to my daughter godmother a few days ago and telling her about this experience because I didn't share this with her before. And she told me that that's a festival that actually kept every single year. She knows where the festival uh, is normally, where it normally is, and everything like that. And um, actually, the reggae part of that festival is the bomb. So if I had been there, I would have had a better experience. And if someone was sick, I would have filled in way better the following day. So that was my story of um, popping beer at an house part of a festival and learning how to use a beer a tap machine. Thank you for watching. Bye, guys.